Did you know that right before the French Revolution, France's top 1% owned a whopping 60% of the wealth? Or maybe you didn't know that right before World War II, Germany's top 1% of the population owned 40% of the wealth. Now fast forward to today, the United States top 1% owns 30% of the wealth. And here's the kicker, one of your neighbors probably belongs to that top 1% and you don't even know it. Why? Because the wealthiest among us have mastered the art of staying under the radar. In times of financial inequality, tensions rise and history shows us what can happen when the masses feel left behind. So why should this information be important to you? Because building wealth isn't just about getting rich. It's about protecting your peace, your financial security, and your future, especially in a world where societal pressures can shift quickly. Think about it. You don't want to invite judgment or envy. You want to quietly grow your financial freedom while staying protected. Because if the rest of the population riots against the rich, the last thing you want is a target on your back. And that's why by the end of this video, I'll show you 7 strategies that the rich use to grow wealth quietly without anyone noticing. The first step to growing wealth quietly is to adopt the StealthWealth mindset. What this means is that you have to let go of the desire of impressing others and focus on accumulating wealth quietly. I personally know a multimillionaire named John who still lives on a normal street in a modest home just like everyone else around him, while he and his wife are accredited investors with millions of dollars in their portfolio and assets, minus their private residence. He doesn't flaunt it, he doesn't talk about it. In fact, to get any advice from either of them is nearly impossible because they're so afraid of judgments that can come from others finding out. But they live financially free, quietly going on vacations with their family to foreign countries multiple times a year, and when someone does find out about their wealth, they're always surprised. It's not until recently that they both decided to move out of their neighborhood and build a beautiful home on a large piece of acreage far away from everyone else. So the key? Don't flaunt your wealth. Stop worrying that people see you as ordinary. Prioritize your financial goals and let your success be driven by a need to be financially free, not a need to be showy. Trust me, that's the safer route. Practice intentional spending and avoid lifestyle inflation where you're always trying to keep up with the Joneses. Instead, use your money to invest in things that'll make you more money later, like stocks, real estate, and a small business. Now, all of that seems very obvious, but these next few steps don't seem so intuitive. Automation is your secret weapon. You can easily set up automatic transfers to a high-yield savings or an investment account when payday arrives. For example, if you earn about $4,500 per month and you set up an automatic transfer of $500 into your investments or high-yield savings account per month, that's $6,000 a year, growing silently in the background with the power of compound interest. Think of automation as your financial autopilot. It's the easiest way to stay disciplined in growing wealth without constant effort in avoiding spending. But that's not the only step you need to do. You need to focus on assets, not liabilities. What do I mean by that? In life, there are assets and liabilities. You need to invest in assets that grow your wealth, like stocks, real estate, and small businesses. For example, choose to put extra money towards owning a rental property instead of a luxury car, because in time, the property will earn you around $1,500 a month, while the car's value will actually halve. Assets work for you, while liabilities actually take your resources from you. Assets actually put money in your pocket, and liabilities actually take money out. So you always want to prioritize growing wealth in the future instead of fleeting pleasures. And while this step is very important, there's actually another critical step in becoming wealthy. Albert Einstein called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. Starting early is crucial. Investing $300 a month at age 25 can grow over $1 million by retirement. Waiting just 10 years cuts that in half. Even small contributions can grow into life-changing wealth. The key is to start now. And while these first 4 steps help in long-term wealth and financial security, these next 3 steps are the most important, and they actually separate the early retired millionaires from the old retired millionaires. So pay attention. But before I explain them, I need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button below if you want to get ahead financially in 2025. Relying on one income source is risky, and while it may be easy, it's not comfortable in the long run because it leaves you with no options and total dependence. The wealthy know this because they don't live this way. Instead, you need to diversify with side hustles, investments, or passive income streams. There's a lot of options out there, and personally, I recommend not going into any super saturated market where there's too much competition. Take Ala, for example, who's a mother that turned her website design side hustle into a steady income of over $7,000 per month, which is complementary to her 9-to-5 job. Multiple income streams gives you way more options in growing wealth and faster financial freedom than if you just remain in your 9-to-5 routine. So in the beginning, this is going to take a lot of discipline and a lot of work, but it's definitely going to be worth it in the long run because it's going to make life so much easier with the new cash flow that you'll have to invest in something that'll actually generate real wealth. Now, with this new cash flow, there's actually something that's going to creep up on you, and that's something we call taxes. Taxes will eat your lunch, so you need to use tax-advantaged accounts like Roth IRAs and 401ks that will save on taxes while building wealth. And when you receive a windfall, invest it. So what is a windfall? It's a large sum of unexpected money like a tax refund or a bonus. A $5,000 bonus today could grow into $116,000 in 10 years at a 10% annual return. Every windfall is an opportunity, so don't splurge it on something that's fleeting. Instead, invest it to accelerate your financial journey. But this last step is the most critical, and it really divides the rich from the poor. Building wealth isn't about quick wins. It's about steady, consistent actions over time. And believe me when I say doubts will come, because they will. So how do you overcome your doubts? How do you actually get the vision and truth about what you can achieve? The key to being consistent in your vision and your potential is to network with like-minded, success-driven individuals, because they are the ones that will keep your head above the water and your hope high. The path to financial freedom is a tough road, especially if no one in your family or friend group really has traveled it, because it'll seem like this far-off fantasy land that just doesn't exist, especially after talking to doubters that inevitably will come. So where do you find successful people? Simply look around you. They are there. But remember, they're probably quiet. And the only way to find out is to talk to people around you. Whether it's at the gym or in an online investment group or attending financial workshops, YouTubers who have achieved financial freedom, and so forth. You'll be surprised how many there are around you that can help you. Just open your mouth, whether it's at the next Christmas party, family gathering, or the next morning workout routine. Introduce yourself, get to know them, stir some conversation, and before long, you'll find some good sources of confidence. Now, until you achieve it, I can give you hope because I already have a network of very successful people. And in line with that, I have the vision and knowledge that's required to get me there. So no matter how many doubters come at me, I have the drive that's unconquerable. So if that interests you, again, subscribe to this channel and let me know in the comments section what doubts are creeping up in your mind, and I can address those. So remember that patience and privacy are your greatest assets in wealth building. Stay the course and the results will come. And remember that quiet wealth is not about the money, it's about the freedom. It's the freedom to live without stress or without showmanship. Now, if you're really looking for a reason to grow your wealth before you retire and you need a better vision of your current situation, here's a video about the very large wealth gap that exists in America and where you fit in the whole scheme of things. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click on this video.